evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you joining us today. Thank you for being here. We're truly excited to have such an enthusiastic and curious crowd for what promises a high value conversation for the next 1 hour. I am Mehek Solanki from 12GRIDS, a customer technology company that helps businesses grow by combining creativity, technology, and strategy. From building powerful digital experiences to scaling marketing systems, we work with startups and enterprises to deliver seamless customer journeys and real business outcomes. We've launched a webinar series that you all are a part of today with one clear goal. This is basically to bridge a gap, a knowledge gap from between founders, marketers, and growth leaders to navigate today's digital landscape. Our aim is to simplify complex strategies and build your practical, actionable insights straight from experts. Insights you can apply immediately and fuel your business growth. Today's session is all about a platform we use the most. Most of us got connected through this platform. That's why one of the most important platforms for any of the professionals who are a part of this webinar today, it is LinkedIn. The topic of the webinar is Crack the LinkedIn Code for B2B Growth. In this session, we'll show you how to transform LinkedIn into a high converting engine for lead generation, brand building, and thought leadership. With us, we have wonderful panelists. First, we have Neeraj Shah, Mr. Neeraj Shah with us. Neeraj, can we see a wave from your side? Great. So he is a LinkedIn growth strategist, a serial entrepreneur, and a mentor to thousands of business owners. Neeraj will walk us through how to create visibility and generate consistent leads through the right positioning and content strategy. We have Archie Modi. Archie, can we have a hi from your side for the entire audience? Excellent. So, Archie is a seasoned B2B content marketing expert who helps brands simplify their messaging and stand out in crowd markets. She is known for turning complex ideas into LinkedIn content and drives authority engagement and qualified leads. Next, one of our favorites, we have Mr. Ravindra Varang. He is the director of 12 Grids. Can we have a hi, sir? So he's a strategic thinker and a thought leader in the industry who is a strategic thinker behind multiple digital transformations that 12 Grids has done till date. Ravindra has worked with over more than 100 brands designing their growth strategies and blend creativity, storytelling with scalable systems. We have a lot of value packed insights lined up. So keep your notepads ready. Take notes, take everything that you can from this entire webinar, entire information that we are willing to provide. Let's connect, let's network, let's ignite this relationship that we are building, and we will have a Q&A session post this webinar. So all the questions that you have, please pop up in the put it in the chat, and we will address all of them post the panel discussion is over. After the forum is done with the panel discussion, we would be answering all the Q&As. We have enough time for all of that. Plus, another surprise for all of y'all. We have a bonus for y'all. We would be providing you an exclusive LinkedIn marketing guide, which would be packed with tools, templates, strategies, and all the information that you need for LinkedIn marketing. Post the webinar on your WhatsApp numbers. So stay tuned with us, stay connected with us for all the following webinars, and let's dive in and unlock the power of LinkedIn for business. So over to you, Ravindra, so we can go forward and continue the webinar.
Hey, hello everyone. First of all, a warm welcome to each and every one of you. I'm not saying good evening or good morning because we have audience coming across the globe, joining across the globe. So I will just say it's a warm welcome. Warm welcome to our panelist, none other than Mr. Neeraj Shah, my favorite. I know him. I know Neeraj from I think a decade, long time now, and it's really being honor to host him today on this panel. I'm sure his contribution to the panel would be amazing. Another panelist, beautiful Archie Modi. Welcome, Archie. I think it's really amazing to have you here. I think I learned a lot story about you, about the personal branding you are doing, some interesting job you are doing there. So I think it's really great to have such an amazing panelist. And of course, wonderfully, I we have amazing audience. So I just wanted to quickly start with first audience. Who all are directly connected with marketing or who are handling a marketing role right now in the organization? Just type me on the chatbot quickly. Beautiful. So we have already started getting good responses. That's nice. Wonderful. So I think because it's very important to have a set a right context here, because the people who are really working on the marketing or who may not also working on the marketing, they are working on their personal brand on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn platform is for everyone, right? So it is very important for them to learn how LinkedIn works, right? It's very important. And algorithm of LinkedIn, the trends which are happening on LinkedIn are changing every day. And in last couple of years after COVID, I think the dynamics of social media or dynamics of digital transformation has changed like anything. Frankly, let me quickly tell you why we thought about this kind of session. Written 12 Grids as a CX tech company, customer experience technology company. We work with the various brands, brands like SBI, brands like UPL, two brands like BMC, kind of government brands as well. While handling working with them on their content marketing side or on their experience building side, we found that everyone has some different notion about LinkedIn, right? The businesses think that okay, some business think LinkedIn is good for attracting a talent. Some businesses thinks about, okay, if I post couple of posts every week, my LinkedIn is done or my social media marketing is done. So I think there are so many myths which are around, and I think people really wanted to have the answer around it, and they joined so many workshops, they joined so many classes. I think it's, but I feel it's very important to learn it from the experts who are actually doing it correctly, right? So before starting the session and before going to the panelist, of another question for the my beautiful audience is, what one thing you are expecting from this panel discussion? Q&A we were certainly going to have at the end of the panel discussion, but I would certainly like to have that one thing you are expecting from the session, so that at the end of the session and at the end of the panel discussion, we as a panelist also will judge us, okay, how well, what value we have delivered to you. So can I have that very quickly? Another 1 minute, because I'm going to start in a minute time. One point or one value would like you are expecting from this panel discussion, quickly, guys. Do we have any? Okay, interesting. What we miss on LinkedIn, what's new? Fair enough. Organization, brand, or personal? Nice question. Okay, lead generation, Michael, sure. B2B collaboration, sure, Swati. Anything new? Okay, learning proper LinkedIn etiquette. Oh, that's going to be very interesting. Learning etiquettes of LinkedIn. Neeraj, what say?
Yeah, 100%. Like every platform, LinkedIn has its own way of doing things.
That's true. How to effectively use LinkedIn? Fair enough. Current news about features, benefits, and advantage. Increasing followers. Okay, that is the interesting question. Learning proper, okay, fair enough. Okay, I think we will try to cover most of them, and guys, please posting your questions here. So meanwhile, let's start with a quick introduction of Neeraj and Archie, because Neeraj, maybe a 1 minute quick introduction, like why you known as a mastermind behind LinkedIn. So let's learn about that first.
Well, I moved here about 21 years ago to start an organization called BNI, which is a business network. which has grown from about 0 to 60,000 entrepreneurs across India. And I was known for bringing offline networking, and then I've found the same principles that apply offline can be applied online on LinkedIn. And now, I decided to get serious on LinkedIn about 5 years ago. And now 95% of my business comes from LinkedIn. So it's been a huge part of my business. So that's where I'm at. I'm now nearly at 30,000 followers, and I work with over 650 plus founders to help them grow their personal brand and to generate leads.
Wow. So you say 95% of your business leads comes from LinkedIn.
Yes.
Oh my God. Now I'm very excited to learn that. What's the secrets behind it? But I will come back to you. So Archie, girl from Surat, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, a diamond city. So Archie, I heard a lot about you. You handle personal brands very differently. You are a content strategist and content analyst converted to the LinkedIn expert now. So how that journey would have been, and please tell us something about you.
So I have not been into this very long, but good 4 5 years I have been into this. I'm still learning, still expanding, still growing, like all of you. So yeah, I have worked with a lot of LinkedIn clients. I don't usually stay super active on LinkedIn. I try my best, but then yeah, majorly the good high ticket clients that I've got till now, whether I have been active or not active, or maybe to speak about LinkedIn or to speak about how to formulate your content strategy, I've gotten all the opportunities through LinkedIn. And
Wonderful.
that is because that I've networked with a lot of people, I've made new connections on LinkedIn. I have So I started getting serious about LinkedIn and posting on LinkedIn 2 3 years back. I entered into this industry in COVID itself, because that is when all of the hype started. I was a newbie experiencing and learning new things, and then I shifted to freelancing, now pivoting into my own agency slowly. So yeah, that's all about me.
That's wonderful. So we have a mixture of experience here. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this. So I think let's me shoot out with the first question. Niraj, this is for you. Uh, I think the obvious one, which I started with the myth versus reality. And as our topic says, it's a B2B, LinkedIn for a B2B industry. So I really wanted to understand, is this true that people can generate leads from LinkedIn? You say 95% of your business comes from LinkedIn. That's okay. But for a B2B businesses, they really don't experience that. Rather, I know many companies who put so much efforts, but they have never converted anything. So they end up in saying that, hey, LinkedIn is just for Shosha, or maybe it's just for attracting the right talent, or maybe our talent goes there on LinkedIn and goes to other companies. So what's myth and what's reality? Quickly.
Yeah, I think, look, when it started out, the platform definitely was known for being a place where people could network and get recruited, and that would help them in their career. But since Microsoft has taken over, it's really become the world's number one business network. And people come to LinkedIn to do business. So, that is no question about it that you can generate leads. However, what I've seen is that people hide behind their company page. They let their company page kind of do all the work, and it never works because it is the personal profiles that are going to have 5 times more visibility than the company page. And therefore, if you're not going to use your personal profile of the founders, okay, they're not going to get the kind of traction that they want. So that one really is a very important thing. And typically, with all the founders I've worked with, we actually first work with their personal profiles. And that's actually what helps them generate leads.
Okay, that's very insightful point, because I'm sure most of the companies focuses on their company LinkedIn profile rather than their personal brand, because they have a noble thought कि, okay, my company is a bigger than me, right? So Archie, what's your say, because you work on personal branding, so I think your insight would be very interesting here.
I couldn't agree more on this. Like I've talked about this so many times, and still founders makes this mistake of giving so much importance or giving so much thought over the company page. Sure, it might be important when people, but me as a person, when I'm looking for a job or when I'm looking to network with someone, I look about the person, what they have built, why are they building what they are building, to know about their personal stories, to know where are they going, to see if this person is credible or not, or whether it will help you in so many ways. Like today, if you have a personal brand and you are sharing your stories, your wins, your failures, people will trust you, people will find you credible, people, your trust will become your currency. And once I see that, I'll also land onto your company page. I'm not saying separate it too much, but then take it hand in hand. Post about hiring updates on company page, post about what is happening in the company, if you team pictures and everything, all of that, but don't post your personal stories over there. Build your profile, people will come to follow you and know your story, rather than going to a company page and reading their history and everything. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Neeraj said. Like, he beautifully put it all together.
Yeah, I think I just want to add something there. And Archie, I think you can confirm this as well, since you work with so many people. But I've often seen first founders relying on their company page and then just reposting the content from the company page onto their profile. In fact, if you look at my company page, it's the other way around. I do all the posting, and then the relevant ones get reposted on my company page. Of course, you should be having a company page that is active with the kind of things that you've said. But in case if you are time pressed and don't know which one you should be focusing on, I would always say, go with the personal profile. That will pay you huge dividends.
True, true. I couldn't agree more, because it will take you years to build a company page or get the credibility or get the team or get the investors or anybody you are looking to network with. You can't do it with a company page. You need a personal brand, your personal profile or your story to shine. Maybe it could revolve around what you are doing while building your company, but it should be your personal brand first and then your company page.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So I think both of
I
us,
think
yeah, sorry.
Ravinder, I'll just share a quick stat. Basically, Tim Cook or Bill Gates have many more followers than Apple or Microsoft. So, people follow people, people trust people, so they want to connect with people.
That's very true, Neeraj, and very true, Archie. But I think you both are talking about company brand and personal brand. Okay, but my genuine basic question would be how to do that, how to build that personal brand. So first, tell us about that.
Neeraj, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, okay. I'll go. Um, Look, as far as the personal brand goes, I have a three-step strategy. I call it MAP. Okay, so first, get very clear on what's your mission. What's the one thing that you want to be known for? Now, one of the things I find is that people try and say, "Oh, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this," and then you become forgettable, because I'm not able to remember all the things that you want to be. But if you kind of own one thing and claim that, then you're able to stand out very well. So, take for example, in my case, I help people win on LinkedIn with AI. So, I'm everything that I'm doing is built around that. The second thing is that A stands for authentic values. If you infuse your values about how you are, how do you do business, all of those particular things, um, people naturally gravitate to values when they see or hear values being expressed in the post, if they resonate with those values, you immediately become attractive. So that's a very important part. And then the last part is P, which is the content pillars. You don't want to be talking about 100 things. You want to be talking about a few things, but go an inch wide but a mile deep. That's what I would say with the content pillars. So have about 3 to 4 key things that you consistently talk about, but then you can peel the onion and talk about the different layers of that specific onion. So you go deeper, and that's what people really appreciate, because they want to know that they're dealing with um, a subject matter expert.
That's very beautifully architect, Neeraj, because I feel, let me repeat it. You said MAP, mission, authentic values, and a content pillars. That is that right?
Yes.
Wonderful. I think it's a really amazing framework to follow. Archie, maybe you might have a different perspective also. Maybe you would like to add something here.
Just to add to that, first, have that clarity of uh, who are you targeting, like who are you speaking to, who is your ideal audience. For example, for me, it's the founders who are trying to build their personal brands, or freelancers who are trying to build their freelance business, or trying to build their portfolio, or how to reach a certain revenue number. So these are my audiences. So no, get that clarity first, and then maybe go on to the next step of optimizing your profile entirely. I see a lot of LinkedIn profiles that have very zoomed out pictures. I can't even know who the person is. Or they don't even have profile pictures. They have some hero ka picture which doesn't make sense on LinkedIn. You are here for a professional network. So get that straight. Get the profile optimization thing very right. Keep your bio very clean, very neat, maybe a two-liner. Don't use a lot of jargon words. Like, I see a lot of people have four-line bios, big numbers, big results, and everything. But when it comes to their content, nothing matches. And about section, again, I'm just going into the very basics because these nitty gritties are the main thing that can make your case. So about section, I see a lot of people writing it in third person. I'm not a Bill Gates. I'm not a very big person. I don't need to write my bio or my about section in third person. Keep it simple, keep it casual. Talk about who are you, what do you do, and how can you fix your problem? How can you fix your ICP's problem? And just give them a way how they can reach out to you. This is the first very basic important step that you need to go right now and solve it, because I highly speak about this and it is very important. Second is, while coming to your content, keep it very simple. As Neeraj said, divide the content pillars. If you can't figure out content pillars, divide it into tofu, mofu, and bofu. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. Keep your content, divide your content, plan your content strategy accordingly. Keep tofu as 40%, keep mofu as 30%, and rest you can, maybe 10-20% you can go for bofu. Now, top of the funnel is talking about opinions that are already, talked about a lot in your industry, where people can find you. Tofu topics are where people can easily find you or your content can go viral. Mofo, middle of the funnel, is where you give value driven content, where you give value to the people. Playbooks, guides, you are taking down them to the funnel to follow you or to maybe become your client. Third is Bofu, where you talk about your results, your wins, your testimonials, etc. So this is how you can plan your content and fix the entire strategy, so you don't have to sit every day and think, "Aaj मैं क्या post करूँ?" So that way, just plan everything, keep everything sorted. It's not that hard, and now with AI, it has become so easy to even optimize your profile or even strategize or schedule your LinkedIn post. Next, coming to the structure of post, keep it again very. So let's say, for example, if you don't find a content idea, I have a. So this is what I used to do whenever I used to go on a call with my prospects, or a person who is wanting to, work with me for growing this personal brand, they usually come at me with a lot of questions. So I usually record that calls, and whatever their questions they are asking me, that becomes my posts. It's that easy, because in the end, the questions they have might have, a lot of people might have similar questions. So the problem becomes your hook. Then humanize it, make it more human while you are writing the body, and end the CTA. So it's a problem human fix kind of a loop. So that is something how you can structure your LinkedIn posts.
That's a really wonderful, Archie. I think you have already a sneak peek through profile optimization part
Yeah.
through Tofu, Mofu, and Wofu. So that's very interesting. I'm going to come back to that point, but I once again have another basic question. So you both have shared some interesting frameworks to build a personal brand, but how much time it really takes? How when I'm going to become a sensation on LinkedIn? I also wanted to have, let's say, 10,000, 20,000 followers, 30,000 like Neeraj. So when it is going to happen?
See,
Who is going first?
for
Archie,
me,
go first, then I'll
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. So with following, to me right now, the followership is a source of validation. It gives you that boost. It gives you that confidence to post consistently or to be more active. But followers engagement matters more, or what kind of leads you are getting through LinkedIn or through your content matters more. Once you start seeing that, the thinking or the perspective towards followership decreases. It's a source of validation, but it comes with once you being more consistent, engage with as many people as you can, network with as many as people you can, and that is how the followership, it's a byproduct of you being consistent on LinkedIn. That's it. Majorly, it's if your target is to generate more business and get more leads, just post value driven content, authentic content, and you will keep on seeing that results. Like, that's what my thought is.
But still, you are not telling me the timeline. So don't you think, Archie, you must be getting such questions from your clients as well, right? When I'm going to have 5,000 followers.
I do, but then the difference is there. If your thinking is getting more followers only, then you just keep on posting, engaging, and that will happen. But if your focus is and the goal is to get more leads, then that is what the LinkedIn platform is for. That is what at least I believe. So yeah.
Okay, sure. Neeraj, over to you.
Yeah, so let me put it this way. The most important thing you want to actually focus on is not followers. The most important thing you want to focus on is your offer. And if you look at, right, this is another framework I want to give you, PURE. It needs to be painful, urgent, relevant, and easy to say yes to. If your offer is built that way, then what will happen is automatically you will become attractive to the target market. And you need to be clear about that one target market. Don't try and say, I deal with this kind of client, this kind of client, this kind of client. Uh, Initially, let's face it, if you look at your revenue, there'll be a 20% that brings in 80% of the revenue. Okay. So I say focus on that 20%. Those are the ideal clients that you want more of. So craft an offer where you are going to attract that ideal target market by really pressing on that painful, urgent, relevant problem, because that's where it's at. Because I worked with a client who, when she came to me, she had 20,000 followers. She was getting thousands of likes on her posts. Um, so initially I was wondering, and I asked her, I said, why have you come to me? Because I think I should be learning from you. I have only 10,000 followers. But she said that, look, I have a problem. Despite all the likes don't pay the bills. I'm not, I've had 200 conversations and I've closed 0 people. No one has even got on a call with me. So as we got deeper, we realized that she was trying to be all things to everyone. She wasn't clear about who the specific target market was. And what was the painful, urgent problem that she was solving? As soon as that offer got very clear, we sent one very simple message which was related to that offer, which had a hook, which really pressed on that painful problem of theirs. Out of 200 messages, 18 people booked a call, 3 people converted. Her ticket size was $10,000. And she's based in India. She deals with um, a target market sitting in the US that are working for these high tech companies. So once you get that right, um, I believe followers is kind of a vanity metric. I get scared when I see people with too many followers, because I would rather have a smaller following, but of the target market that I want. And, over the 21 years that I have been here in India and the 5 years that I've been active on LinkedIn, I've only focused on, founders, small business owners, medium-sized business owners, coaches and consultants. So my entire network is simply full of those. So, I know that the kind of people that are there in that network are exactly the right kind of people that I really enjoy working with. I'm able to get great results for, and they're able to pay me well. So typically, I don't end up working with startups. I tend to work more with established businesses that have already done well offline and now need help online. So, so this is a really important thing. And if you have that in place, you could get a client in 2.5 weeks. I've seen it happen. So now, what is more important? Having 1,000 followers or having a client? I know what my answer is. Archie,
That's
what would you say?
that's very interesting, Neeraj.
I agree. Like that's what my point was.
That's really wonderful. So I think while talking, both of you have given some very interesting thoughts. One from Archie's talk is was about consistency. I recently was reading one book called A Diary of CEO, and in that book, in one chapter, he talks about consistency, and that is very interesting. So what he say, and I really love that statement, is ki, you really need to go public and say that ki, hey, every Monday I am going to post something at 5 p.m. And then when I say and commit this, every day, every Monday 5 p.m. my post has to go. When you do this consistency, I think the results comes out really well. So I really like that point, and that's why wanted to really highlight that here. And the second point, what Neeraj used talk about the offer. I was also reading a book called $100 million offer, right? Grand Slam offer. I think that has the whole gist into this framework, I can say. So the offer you create, which you
Yes,
cannot.
100%. So, there are 5 levers that Alex Hormozy has come up with, in terms of scarcity, urgency,
Yeah.
guarantees, bonuses. Um, you know, these are all levers that make people take action. Okay. But at the end of the day, people are buying a result.
Hmm.
Okay. So you've got to be very clear what is the result that I'm able to deliver, which is tangible. And typically, there are, in business, there are uh, four, a couple of different levers that you focus on. It could be revenue, it could be profits, it could be costs saved, and time saved. Those are the essential four levers. And whenever you're putting together a particular offer, you need to identify one of those as being the main, I would say, currency that is most important to your target market. So if you stress upon that, then that becomes really amazing. So take, for example, I work with a company that is into the IoT RFID space, and they work with retailers, and they're able to help with shrinkage. And they were able to give a 95% accuracy on their stock. So typically companies would be in the they wouldn't be very accurate. and especially if they have multi-locational and um, uh, different things that are there. Whereas with this particular technology, they're able to get 95% accurate.
Wow.
So for them, this particular thing was very important. And when they mentioned that, that's how they're able to do it. So you need to dress up your profile in the right way. That banner pitch, the initial LinkedIn banner, that is the biggest part of your um, LinkedIn profile. So people will look at your photo first. Is this person friendly or a foe? Okay. So please smile and please zoom in, and then they will look at what's on the banner. If the banner confuses them, they'll bounce. It's just like bouncing off a website. So if you're clear about what result you're able to help achieve, who do you help, and how do you help them, and then have a clear call to action, what has to happen next. So someone, I think Audrey has put a comment, how do you specifically bring the audience that you want? Um, there are a number of ways, but one of them is creating content that presses on this pain point, which then will drive people to come back to your profile. And when they see this very clear banner pitch, which has a call to action, in my case, my banner has a word called blueprint. And the only place I have that trigger word blueprint is on my LinkedIn profile. So if I get a message coming in with a DM saying blueprint, I know they visited my profile. I don't even have to look there. So that is one thing. Then another two ways which can work very well, which we have been doing for the last, I think, 6, 7 months, is LinkedIn events. LinkedIn events, like how you guys have set up using your company page, okay? Um, Set those up. I've done both offline and online last month. I generated some 360 registrations from that. We have had about 160 people attend those events. I've had 32 new clients from that simply because we knew how to use that. So I think this is one of the things that you need to know how to use, and using email there as well, because sometimes you need to redirect people um, through email, because you're able to get into their inboxes. Newsletters are something that are underrated. Every time you publish a newsletter on LinkedIn, whoever subscribed will get a notification, but they will also get an email. Even if you don't have their email ID, LinkedIn on your behalf will send out that email if they've subscribed to it. So that is how we drive a lot of traffic back to the profile and get them to remember us. And oh, this is really important. This is a problem that I'm facing. I recognize this. Don't reveal the solution immediately. Make them curious to want to click. That's how you drive traffic.
Absolutely wonderful, Neeraj. So, we also get a usual question about LinkedIn posting, right? So, we are talking about consistency, we are talking about profiling, but it's also about what to post. So, B2B businesses majorly, like most of the time, they says, ki, hey, you need to post about products. Where is the product post? You need to talk about the my product sale 50% off. Okay. So if you don't do it, then you are not doing social media marketing. Now, this is a question which comes from the businesses. I wanted to have an expert opinion about it quickly. Maybe Archie would like to go first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Archie has a lot of experience in this. So why don't you go ahead and I'll chime in thereafter.
So you don't have to directly talk about your product that 50% off, 30% off. Today I have this offer, you can buy my product here. It's never that. It's about what you have gone through as a founder while building that product or while building that offer. You must have gone through some failures while hiring people, while working with someone, while working with certain investors. You must have missed few development areas or few things to polish that product. Talk about that this is what has happened. Failures are as much as important while you are talking about, oh, I have hit 100 crore revenue. This is something you should be talking about, but don't show the all positive polished side on LinkedIn. Talk about your failures as well, because this will shape you as a founder. This is something a lot of people will be relate, it might relate to a lot of people like you who are trying to build something. So talk about that as well, instead of just talking about the product or promoting your product. Insert it as a very soft plug. Your life, your post could be around how you are building that product. For example, I'll take a very good example of this brand called Paradise, semi permanent hair color brand. So basically they started with that brand got famous on Shark Tank. So basically those two founders met on Bumble and started a business. So this is how their story started, and this is what they have shared on LinkedIn. And now one of their founders, Yushika Jolly, shares how she is building Paradise. One of their entire series or a chain of product was a flop. She has shared about that. They launched a van with a banner saying Paradise semi-permanent hair color. She has talked about that. Now a lot of people know her insights, know her what she is building and what's happening in her business. Recently, they hit a 2 crore a month in sales at on Blinkit. So this is a win again. So she talked about flops. She talked about how she started her journey, where she is, what's happening, and this is how you become a salesperson, or this is how you position or soft plug your offer or soft plug your products. So don't directly just talk about product. Sell your story. Sell the story behind building that product is what I believe. What do you think, Neeraj?
One of the really cool ways in which I've seen companies do things very well on the B2B side is they use newsjacking. So something current is going on, which is a hot topic of conversation. And then they find a way to kind of, um, talk about it, but then pivot somewhere in between to talk about their business and how it relates to that or how their product relates to that. Um, that's always a really interesting way because you're able to then get um, a lot of views for that, and then you smartly position your product there. Another thing is, the day in the life, like you're saying, the founder's story, the team story, the kind of things that they go through. Uh, it makes it fun, because B2B doesn't need to be boring. In fact, some of the best B2B marketers use memes a lot. Okay. So, it's like, hey, okay, this is what we would like the reality to be, but actually, this is what it is. And, it humanizes the brand. People recognize it, realize it, and they're able to connect to it. And then finally, I think one of the easiest ways is to inject storytelling into it. Like how did the brand come about? What crazy things you had done before that actually didn't work, and the evolution, because it's never a straight line. So people kind of want to know those and how other businesses have used it. I think the bottom of the funnel kind of case study uh, type format, but not written so seriously like Harvard would write it, but written like you're narrating it to a friend. Okay. I think that's a good way to go about it. Um, Carousels and cheat sheets do really well because they're really value packed. Carousels, you can do kind of a step by step how to use the product or the kind of benefits it's able to deliver. Whereas the cheat sheet is this huge value pack, like A4, which um, is related to that. So um, if people are able to see it in a visual, it makes it really useful. A lot of people end up then saving it. And if you end up saving something which is of value, it lets the algorithm know that people are finding it valuable, and the algorithm will show it to more people. And if you then leave a CTA at the end, if you want a copy of this, then just comment PDF. Uh, every month, I'd be generating some, I don't know, 40 or 50 leads just like that.
Wow.
So you know what's valuable to your target market, you know the challenges that they face. When I first started on LinkedIn, I said, okay, what problems did I face? So I said, okay, first, I didn't know how to put together my LinkedIn profile. I should put together a little cheat sheet on what I did. And that had, like, I don't know, 2,300 downloads.
Wow.
So that's how I kind of built my initial LinkedIn audience, because it dealt with a problem that I had faced, which I knew a lot more people were facing. And it just, I tried to validate it and see, would people be interested. So that's definitely something that you can do. And then I think using Perplexity, I think that's my favorite AI. If you mention your target market and what your product is, and then ask it to give you some trending topics around which you can talk, and how you can talk around it, it is absolutely brilliant. Perplexity, if you don't know, is like if Google and ChatGPT had a baby, um, it would be called Perplexity. It is
Okay.
able to give you real-time citations, and this was pretty amazing, especially when ChatGPT initially could not give you. It used to say, "Oh, I'm only trained until data until this year, 2021." But whereas Perplexity could, but obviously Perplexity now has evolved and it's able to do a lot more with Perplexity Labs. So I love using that to come up with very current, relevant, painful, urgent problems that I can then talk about and then plug in my business.
Well, that's a very interesting thought. Neeraj, thanks a lot for coming out with this AI point, because my next question was around that only, because I heard you particularly do a lot of workshops around that on AI and LinkedIn, right, together. So what is the impact of right now AI generated content on the LinkedIn marketing, and how legal it is, or maybe how right it is to utilize it. So I would like to have really your take on that. How are you going to generate the content through AI for the LinkedIn?
First of all, if you see any of my content that is there on LinkedIn, it's 100% AI generated. Okay. And I'm very clear about it that it's AI generated. However, let's put something out there. Okay. You'll never find my post to be robotic. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's happened is that I've used the AI and trained it with my experience, expertise, case studies, points of view, um, problems, challenges. It's even been, it knows my life journey so far.
Mm-hmm.
So it, it is working with something very rich, and then I know how to prompt it to get the right kind of output that is in line with my voice, because I've had it analyze my best performing posts from before when there was no AI, and I was writing all my posts every day and taking
Mm-hmm.
hours and etc. So there is a particular style which is there, and these have been validated.
Mm-hmm.
So you know when I have people say, "Oh, but it's so robotic." Yes, if you just do a lame prompt or give me a LinkedIn post, then yes, it is. But if you've said, "Okay, this is my target market, this is the urgent problem it has, this is the psychographics, these are the 10 fears, these are the 10 wants, then this is my offer, um, these are the specific case studies," then you'll get very amazing content coming out. Um, and it's helped me consistently generate traffic, leads, and sales. So it works, and it works throughout. I've used it since 2022 December, and it's just been getting better and better.
Okay, certainly. Wonderful. So, Archie, what's your take on that? How
Yeah,
you
just
generate
to
your content?
add that, not just perplexity, there are a lot of Claude is one of the tool that I personally use and I personally love because it just writes better. It writes better than ChatGPT. Don't just stick to, when I say AI or anyone says AI, just don't stick to ChatGPT. There are a lot of tools out there which you need to explore. There is Perplexity, there is Claude, there is DeepSeek. These tools write much better when you prompt them better. So someone in the comments have asked, give me some content ideas. First, when me as a person, someone asks that, I need to know you as a person. So what you can do same with AI is, let AI know about you. How do you write? What are the kind of words that you usually speak in your everyday life? Then talk about what is your ICP, what are you currently doing, what are your offers, what are you struggling with currently, or what are you learning currently. And then it will give you beautifully 7 days, 14 days content ideas drafted in front of you. You can even ask the AI to, give some trendy case studies or case studies that are related into your niche, and it will properly generate or give you the resources that you can read about, where you can beautifully craft a post from there. So it's that easy. AI has just made our lives easier with, formulating posts and everything. I'm so sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I think it's already 7:58. I think we can run this discussion, I think, another hour or something. But let's try to conclude on a couple of stuff. So before that, I have one another question. We have features like InMail, LinkedIn ads. So how effective they are to generate the leads for B2B businesses?
Um, what I'm going to say before you jump into ads, okay? Validate your offer. Make sure organically you're generating leads, okay? Then take some of the posts that have done well, that have been pre-validated, and the latest thing that you have now is that uh, you're able to boost
Hmm.
a well-performing post. And if it is, say, something which is a lead magnet, which has some
Yeah.
sort of download, which has proved to be very valuable, okay, that would be the easiest way to go. Then you'll really get bang for your buck, okay? Otherwise, you're putting good money uh, uh, after an unvalidated offer, and you're just going to burn good money. And then you'll complain and say, oh, ads don't work, LinkedIn doesn't work, B2B marketing doesn't work. Um, but you've got to look in the mirror and say, is my offer right?
That's a very important
Just
take.
adding one point to that, that here your top funnel and bottom funnel will work as your organic reach that you are looking for before running ads. Before running ads, just warm up your LinkedIn posts, warm up
Hmm.
your LinkedIn real nice. Le- Generate lead gen forms. See what kind of people are putting in their information or genuinely interested in knowing about their information. And then with ads, smartly use that ads to retarget them, and
Okay.
rather than just spending and burning cash.
Okay, sure. So, let's also have now, like we talk about personal brand, we talk about content, we talk about how to optimize it, how to set up our funnels, right? But let's also talk about how to optimize our company page and what all things we should really follow as etiquette to increase our brand credibility on the LinkedIn through our LinkedIn company page. Anyone?
Yeah. What I'm going to say is that the best way that I've found, and this is how I've consistently used the company page, is to actually run events of that. Okay.
Okay.
And then run messaging campaigns. You can um, do a webinar series or something like that, just like how you guys are doing this here. There's some particular hacks where you can use that same event and then rack up a lot of people, or you can have collaborators where then the collaborators, you're able to invite 1,000 people every week. So you don't decide to run, oh, I want to do an event next week. Give yourself at least 4 weeks, and you have to build up to that. So you've got to do the posts in line with that. You've got to plan the posts every week. There'll be something. Initially, there's like a teaser. You're hinting about it. Then you're talking about the value that you're going to give there, and then you're going to talk about like three really high value things that you're going to talk about, but you don't reveal what exactly it is. And then say something like, okay, we're going to have a surprise. Like today, you said you guys are going to give a surprise guide. So things like that help build up the particular momentum that is there. The other thing is, I think DMs work very well, or using the LinkedIn company page to start commenting, because that then sparks of conversations and gets people to want to come back and figure out what is going on, and having set up the service page in the right way, setting up the credibility case studies. Okay. People love case studies, so you're able to do videos, you're able to do documents, so utilize those things properly.
Great, Archie.
Yeah, this was more on the content side, or how you can, utilize the posts and everything. But again, coming on to the very basics of etiquettes of LinkedIn pages, having a clear profile picture and a banner, I still see a lot of LinkedIn pages missing out of that. I still don't know what certain companies are about. They don't have profile pictures, they don't have about section. Where do I read about you? Even if I want to work with you, where do I read about you? So these are the basic etiquettes that starts with, helping you to scale or amp up your LinkedIn page. So start with that. And yes, absolutely, I agree with Neeraj's point is DMing. I see that working wonderfully for a lot of brands, even big brands like Swiggy, Zomato, or let's say Paradise. Small business owners try to actively, engage with founders who are posting certain relatable content. So try be more active on comments or engaging with founders, creators, etc. through your LinkedIn pages. So yeah.
That's wonderful. So I think if I summarize this very quickly, uh, setting up the right profile page with the banner and the right DP, then I think right having a right about. Then we talk about putting up the right content, lead magnet, I can say, correct, and consistently putting the right content in. So these are the quick, I can say, snippet of our discussion on the company page. Is that right? Am I missing anything over here? And maybe I think most importantly, event, what Neeraj says. I agree. I think events are amazing. It gives lot engagement. Like I can tell my own example. We run a couple of brands. 12GRIDS is our one of the brand into customer experience. I also have a brand called HCRM. This is a customer relationship management SaaS product. And we do lot of webinars there for the sales leaders, and webinars work so wonderfully. From the COVID period, I remember we used to have a registration of 400, 500 on LinkedIn, and we used to say, sorry guys, now I cannot take you in because Zoom has a limit on that. so but the engagement happens amazingly there, and the brand credibility also builds out of it. So that's really amazing discussion, guys. Neeraj and Archie. I'm afraid I think it's already 8:05, so I wanted to stick to the time. I'm already 5 minutes late. So let me open the floor quickly for the two or three questions. Maybe we can answer that quickly. So let's go through the chat quick. I think is there any questions, guys, from the audience? Would like to quickly highlight right now so that I can take that question.
Yes, Ravindra, there are about 8 questions that our audience
Okay,
has
May,
asked.
can you please
Yes.
read out those for me?
Excellent. So the first question was from Cindy. He asks that, "Hi, if I want to learn all the features of LinkedIn, where can we learn that from?" I think that answer I would like to answer. Please attend all the webinar series that we have related to these topics. But obviously, just a joke. Neeraj and Archie, would you love to take any of the
Yeah, unfortunately, LinkedIn doesn't come with a user manual. And the other thing is they roll out new features. They don't tell you about them. They decide to discontinue some features. Again, they may not tell you about it. So, you have to just be active on the platform and follow some key thought leaders who are in that space who may have some inside info, or, follow some of the LinkedIn team. In that way, you begin to learn some of the good best practices, and of course, attending events like this where we are discussing LinkedIn in detail. So I think that's a really good way to get started. I'm going to shamelessly plug my book. It is coming out at the in September, and it's going to be a fully illustrated one. So we're actually going to show people how to actually do some of the things, with illustrations, because uh, people don't sometimes even know the basics. Okay, how do I upload my profile photo? And what should be the dimensions of that profile photo? So we will even get that granular with things.
excellent, excellent.
Yeah, I think this is very important announcement by the Neeraj. So his new book is already on the way, and I'm very excited for it. So Neeraj, please share it. I'm sure I'm going to follow it on the LinkedIn, and I'm going to get that book. But
Yes.
very excited for the book, Neeraj.
Great, cool. So the next question is pointed towards Neeraj. How to specifically bring in the audience you want? This is from Andri.
Yeah, I had mentioned it earlier, and even Archie had mentioned it. You need to have the profile set up in the right way, so it's very clear to the target market. And then you need to have your content system in place. And the way I would, this is a phrase you'll remember, a quote you'll remember. If content is king, context, the relevance of that content to the target market is King Kong, and then consistency is the mother of King Kong. So I'll repeat that. If content is king, context is King Kong, and consistency is the mother of King Kong. So people need to get used to you putting together some very relevant content, and then they get used to following, liking, commenting, and you'll be able to drive them with your different funnel content, from top of the funnel to the middle to the bottom. So it's a journey, and you've got to map out that particular journey.
Excellent. Great thoughts, Neeraj. So I'm going to skip on to a couple of questions because these were answered in the webinar because of shortage of time. There is a question from Pankaj Rawat. He again points it to Neeraj, saying, "Your thoughts on defining funnels and SOPs to ensure a strict check on the same."
I'm not sure I've understood it, but
So, Pankaj, if you're on the call, could you please unmute yourself and ask your question? So, the question says, "Your thoughts, what are your thoughts on defining funnels and SOPs to ensure a strict check on the same?" Pankaj, are you there on the call? I think looks like he's dropped. Let's take another question.
I just want to talk about one thing. I'm just trying to put two and two together in terms of whatever he said. Okay, so one of the very important things is, how do you qualify people that come off? Um, in my case, typically what I do is that before someone gets on a call with me, there's a series of questions that they have to answer, and that gives me a lot of information about who they are, the problems that they're facing, what they would like to achieve. So this is possible even on the free version of, say, something like Calendly, or you can use Typeform or something like that. So I would suggest that if you use something like that, you want to have some very clear criteria in terms of who makes a good lead and who doesn't. Okay, and you should then know how to filter through this. So these sorts of forms then give you an opportunity to really have a good check and make sure that only the right people are then coming through. There are some other things that I'll say. I use something called FullCap, which is a CRM which integrates with LinkedIn, so that if I'm having a conversation on a DM on LinkedIn, I can just click a button because it's a Chrome extension. It will then import that person's profile and that chat into my CRM, and then I'm able to move them through stages. So I find that to be very useful. And then I can even set a reminder to, like, say, 2 days later, if I need to follow up, or if I've given an offer, they've already booked a call, then, that same CRM, it's synchronized. So then it gets updated to a high priority lead. Because if someone has booked that call, that means they've given me a lot of information. They're serious. So this is a very important way in which you ensure that you have the right kind of leads flowing to you. They're getting qualified in the right way, and you're prepared, ready for that conversation, and you're able to close the right people.
Excellent, excellent, Neeraj. So, just before one last question, we would like everybody to fill up the feedback form, and then we're going to have one really important question for both Neeraj and Archie and Ravindra as well. So, we would like to hear your thoughts on that. It's more to do with thought leadership, so that is a question that we would like to discuss. Quickly, we're going to take next 60 seconds from the audience. Quickly click on the feedback form. Give us your feedback. Let us know how did you like the entire webinar. How was it connecting with like-minded people? How were your thoughts? Give us your insights. And yeah, excellent. Great. So the last question. So this is a question that I would love to have an answer for. This is a question from me specifically. That nowadays, Neeraj, Archie, Ravi, we see that uh, there are so many B2B companies on LinkedIn who are trying to become thought leaders in the industry that they are, right? They want to be thought leaders, and they're trying to post so much content related to that. And more often, it happens that a lot of companies end up putting very similar content, right? And you just become that one other face on social media, right? So, how is it that you are going to position yourself or make yourself unique, make your content unique, so that you actually become the thought leaders to the other thought leader, right? So this is the final question. As you guys are the thought leaders for your industries, I would love to hear from all three of y'all.
I'll go. I have a very short and a quick answer to this. That humanize your content when you start posting and writing everything through ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT that I want to become a thought leader in this industry. Give me some content ideas. It is going to give you the exact same script. Like I can literally read on LinkedIn and tell you which post is written by ChatGPT, which AI, and I can easily see the difference. What is AI and what is humanize. I'm not saying that don't use AI. Obviously, write each and every post through AI, but prompt it in a way that it talks like you. It generate posts like you talk, or it's more on your side, your story. Because I don't believe that every single person in the B2B industry has the same story. Everyone comes with a unique story, with a unique experience, so it's never possible that all of the person are same thought leaders. So yeah, that unique story will shine when you humanize your post. See the problem, humanize it in your way. Don't pick up the case study that you read on ChatGPT, Google, and copy paste it. Add your opinions. That becomes the major difference in every post that I see.
So basically, खुद से लिखो और दिल से लिखो.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Great, great.
खुद से
Neeraj,
एआई को ऐसे प्रॉम्प्ट करो कि वो आपके जैसा लिखे.
yeah. Excellent, excellent. So, Neeraj, can we hear you?
Yeah, I think, look, in the day of the life of a founder, there's so many amazing things happening. It's just that we're not recording them. Okay. So get into the habit of recording them. So, like, I've created a WhatsApp group, and then I exited everyone else, and now I'm the only one left. So I use that to kind of capture these voice notes and thoughts that I'm having, because I'll be mid conversation and something will strike me. So I have a pad, I'll write it down, and then I'll expand on that. I think real thought leadership comes from that, because it's real conversations which spark this new way of thinking, and then suddenly you get a deep insight in there. So it comes from awareness and observation, and then the best thought leaders are the ones who are good at synthesizing what others are already thinking but haven't yet articulated, and that comes from that sharp observation. So I think that's a really good way, and that's what I've been using regularly, and I kind of train myself on that. I do use technology to help me do that. Evernote is another tool that I use, to do a lot of these things, and then I do a brain dump of those particular things and say, hey, this is really cool. I'll talk to ChatGPT about it, and it's able to find some really interesting insights. Try this particular prompt. I tried it just earlier today. Uh, tell me something that about me that you think I don't know, and give me the nuclear option. Just try that prompt and see what comes out. I think you'll fall off your chair when you see what it comes up with.
Great, excellent. I think we have an activity to do post the entire session and the forum is over. But yeah, great thoughts, Neeraj. Ravi, can we hear from you?
Yeah, I feel world is too big, right? And LinkedIn algorithm is too short. It doesn't reach out to each and everyone when you post something. So be OG. I think it's be original is very important. And the way Neeraj says, it has to be a reflection of yours, right? So thought leadership should not be a copy of something or someone. It's about a reflection of yours. And when it comes as a OG reflections, I think people loves it. Storytelling is, I think, one of the most important stuff which I have seen. Any post which are going viral on LinkedIn, you will find that it starts with a story, and
Excellent.
that is very much important. So you use AI, you may not use AI, that's okay. But if you are using AI, then prompting is the most important stuff, because AI doesn't have its own brain. It has a brain which you are giving as input. If you are giving a dumb input, then of course you are going to get dumb output of it. So it's very important that if you be OG there and keep doing it, doing consistently, I think there is enough space for every thought leader, and everyone can become a thought leader. So there is no need to compete with particular person. It's important to compete with yourself. That's enough. That's my
Excellent.
take. Yeah.
Excellent, Ravi. It's always great listening to you. So thank you so much, Neeraj. Thank you so much, Archie, for giving us your time, connecting with us, making so many things clear for so many people. Where there's always a lack of that 1% understanding that changes the entire game, right? So all and the best part about the entire session was it was in such a simple language. It was in such less of jargons, which really helped us understand how to go about the entire LinkedIn. Right. So my heartfelt gratitude from me and my entire team at 12 Grids for coming here, giving us your presence and your time. It was lovely connecting with you. And now, for the entire audience that's there, thank you so much for being a part of this entire forum, being there till the end. So, we have an exciting announcement. Our next webinar is going to go live on July 31st. The session is going to be on how to maximize WhatsApp for B2B engagement, and it's going to be at the same time at 7 p.m. Onwards. You all will get all the updates on your WhatsApp numbers. We are going to be connected on LinkedIn as well. The registration link for our next webinar is already posted in the chat box. So quickly take next 5 seconds to register for the next webinar, and let's see you at 31st July 7 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone. Great evening, great webinar. Cheers to all.